Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Wisdom International School's digital classroom for mathematics. So children, we are going to start a new chapter today, areas related to circles. Now I hope you people have completed the circles exercise. There were only two exercises in circles chapter. Hope you have completed it. So now we'll move on to the next chapter, areas related to circles. Okay. So this is a very simple chapter actually. You just have to read the problems carefully and solve it. Okay, there are few formulas you need to remember, of course. Okay, so here let's just, there are few things which you have already learned it, so let's first recall those. Okay, so this is the thing, recall. See, you are familiar with this term, right? This is called as pi, right? Now it is an irrational number. Okay, so it's an irrational number. Its decimal expansion is non-terminating and non-recurring. Okay, that is, it doesn't stop the decimal after the decimal point, it just goes on, and it's non-recurring, it doesn't repeat. Okay, so it's a irrational number, and this is the features of your pi. Okay, and how did you get the value pi? Like, what is this pi? What's the value of this pi? Now if you take a circle, let it be any kind of a circle. Okay, so now you know that the circumference of a circle, when I say, it means that the length of the circle, right? Circumference is nothing but the length of the circle, the perimeter of the circle, right? So like how much you have, let's say you have made a circle using a thread. Okay, so how much thread have you used to make a circle? Okay, what length of the thread is made, is used to make the circle, is what is your circumference. Okay, so let's take, you have some circle over here, and obviously this particular circle will have a diameter, right? So let's say this is the diameter. So when you divide the circumference of this particular circle divided by the diameter, you get a value which is constant for all the circles. Like, if you take a smaller circle, let's say, so smaller circle, and if you take the circumference of this smaller circle and divide it by the diameter of this smaller circle, you're going to get the same value, and that value is being given the term pi. Okay, so whatever it is, let it be a bigger circle or a smaller circle, the circumference of a certain circle divided by the diameter of that particular circle is going to always give you a approximate, a certain value. Okay, it's a constant value. That value is being termed as, named as pi, and Aryabhatta gave an approximate value of pi. Okay, and this is how the pi value is. Like, he said this is, he just some calculation, and he gave an approximate value, and he found out that it could be, pi could be written as either 22/7 or 3.14 approximately. Okay, so now we are going to use these two terms, these two values in the problem. So from this chapter you will always have a word problem. Okay, there are no numerical small problems or not there. It's usually application problems which are asked from this chapter. So they will specifically tell you, use the value of pi as 22/7 or 3.1/4. Okay, if they're telling you specifically in the question, you'll have to use it. Otherwise, if they're not telling you, you can use it as your convenience. Okay, you can use it according to your wish. Okay, that also you should decide, which one will be more comfortable. Just by looking at the problem, you will be able to decide which value of pi is more suitable to it. Okay, so we'll learn all about it. Now come down. So you have learnt about this. These two formulas are not new to you. Area of a circle is pi r square, and circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So you are supposed to memorize this. Okay, I hope everyone remembers it, but for those who don't remember, please memorize this. Okay, it's very important. Okay, memorize. Okay, now first of all, you should know what is an area and what's a circumference. See, when I give you a problem and I ask you, find the area of a circle with radius something. Okay, in that case, you know that you're supposed to find the area, because I'm telling you specifically that you are supposed to find the area, right? Same way, similarly, if I ask you to find the circumference, calculate the circumference of a circle of so and so radius, if I give it to you straight away, you'll be able to use the formula and you'll be able to solve it. But in application problems, that is the word problems, they won't use this word area or circumference, right? In day-to-day life, a common man doesn't use this word, right? He never says that area or circumference, right? He will say, okay, see, I'm I'm plowing a field. Like, for example, I'm plowing a field. So you should know, when I'm plowing a field, what is it? Is it area or circumference which is coming into picture? So anyways, we look at it. Now first let's try to understand what area means and what is the circumference. Okay, so if I ask you to find the area, that means I'm asking you to see, you see this red circle with a yellow shaded region inside. So I'm actually asking you to find the region, the space inside this red circle. Okay, all the yellow region. Okay, that is what I mean by area. So if I ask you, okay, how much do I, if I have a circular floor, let's say, and I am putting a tiles or painting it or whatever it is. Okay, so now if I say that, how much how much paint will I use to paint this circular region. So in this case you will think of area, not circumference, because painting is not just the border, right? Circumference means it's just the border of the circle, just the blue region over here. Understood? This blue region is what is your circumference. Area is the region inside this region, okay, inside this border. So if I ask you how much paint will I use to to paint this circular region, you are going to actually calculate the area first, right? Now if I ask you, what if I fence this circle, okay, I'm just using a wooden fence to fence this particular circle, like this, the blue thing. Okay, so in this case what will I do? I will calculate the circumference, because I need to find the length of the circle, right? How much wood do I need to fence it? So in that case I'll talk about circumference, not the area. Okay, so first after reading a word problem, you should be able to decide if it's talking about the area or the circumference. Okay, so this circumference, see, I have drawn a line over here. This is nothing but, see, if I actually draw a circle, I mean, this circle is there, and this particular circumference, see, I am using this particular circle, I'm opening this end, let's say, this circle is being cut into, it's a rope, okay, and I have made a circular region. Now I'm just cutting this circle, not over here, wait, okay, I'm just cutting it at this particular region, and I'm opening it like this. Okay, understood? So I'm just spreading it out. So this length I can measure it now using a scale, right? So this length of a circle is what is your circumference, and you have a formula to find this length. Okay, that is 2 pi r, or you can even call it as a perimeter of a circle, but usually for curved figure we don't use the term perimeter. Understood? Okay, so now we'll see a problem based on this. See, this is a very direct problem, but usually they don't give such direct problems, but still we will start with a simple one. So this one says, find the area and circumference of a circle of radius 14 centimeter, right? So you are supposed to find the area and you are supposed to find the circumference. Both have been asked, and you remember the formula. The area is pi r square. See, this 14 is what is your r, right? So pi r square. Now you see, I have a confusion now. What will I use for the pi? Should I use 22/7 or should I use 3.14? Now if you look at the r over here, r is 14, right? This 14 is divisible by 7. So it's better to use this formula. Okay, so that the denominator gets cancelled, and I don't have a problem of decimal point also over here. So I will just use the first formula over here. Okay, so 22/7 into r square, so 14 into 14, because it's r square multiplied twice, right? Now I can cancel this. See, 7 1s are 7, 7 2s are 14. So what do I get? I get 22 into 2 into 14. Now 22 into 2 is 44. 44 into 14, you multiply and you will get 616. Now the radius was in centimeter, but here area will be in centimeter square. So area, unit of area, whatever it is, let it be in centimeter, meter, kilometer, feet, whatever it is, it will always be in squares. Okay, unit square. That's because we are using radius 2 times, right? So 14 centimeter into 14 centimeter. See, you have 14 centimeter into 14 centimeter. So that becomes centimeter square. Okay, so whenever you are writing an area, you should always write the unit. Okay, and that should have a square in it. Okay, now also come down to circumference. Now you are going to calculate a circumference. So C equals to 2 pi r. So again, 2 into 22/7 into 14. Again, this 7 1s are 7, 7 2s are 14. So now you can see 2 into 22 into 2, 2 into 22 is 44. 44 into 2 is 88. So here we are using the radius only once, right? So there's only 1 centimeter. See, 14 centimeter, just centimeter is coming only once, right? 2 doesn't have any unit. Pi also doesn't have any unit, okay? So r is only the one which is having a unit, and that's centimeter. So you have only 1 centimeter over there, okay? No centimeter square. Okay, so remember this, circumference will always have a unit, whatever unit is being given, and the radius, and the area will always have a unit square. Okay, now we will do one problem from your, I've just taken a problem from your textbook. It's an example problem. Now you see here, so listen to this problem carefully. The cost of fencing a circular field. See, when I see fencing, so I mean it's like, I'm going to border it, right? The field, whole field can't be fenced, right? Fencing is done in the corner of the field. It's right, isn't it? The border of the field. So this talks about the circumference. So that's what I've written. Fencing of a circular field means it is circumference. Okay. Now the next thing is, and it's at a rate of, so they're saying, you can fence a circular field, and at a rate of 24 rupees per meter means, for every meter, we don't know what is the circumference of the field, but for every meter of that length you are actually using 24 rupees. Okay, that's how it's being, that's the rate being fixed. Okay, you'll have to spend 24 rupees every meter. Now if the circumference is large, if your meter is large, if the length is large, you are going to spend more money. Okay, and so on. So here it says fencing of a circular field at this particular rate is so much. So rupees 5,280 is what is required, is what is the money is spent in fencing this particular field. Okay, now the field is to be plowed, and it's to be plowed, right? So you understand the meaning of plowing the field. So the plowing is done all in this region. So you see this is the muddy region. I have shaded with the mud color, brown color, so that this is where you're supposed to plow the field, right? We plow it and then we do the farming, isn't it? So to plow the field, you are actually spending 0.50 every meter square. See here, look at this, it's given in meter square over here, right? So every meter square you are going to spend 0.5 rupees. Okay, now they are asking you, what is the cost of plowing the whole field? So to find the cost of plowing the whole field, you should know the area of the whole field, right? How much is the area? Only then we can calculate. Okay, so for every meter square you are using 50 paise. That's right, 0.5 is nothing but 50 paise, right? So if for every meter you're spending 50 paise, how much will you spend for the whole field? But we don't know the area of the field. Now first you should find the area of a field. So area of a field is pi r square, but again we are missing the r over here. We don't know what is the radius is not given over here. So how can you find the area over here? So now we will use the other information given to us. They have given us that a fencing of a field is being done using how much rupees? 5,280 rupees. So that means circumference is like, circumference is 2 pi r, we all know, right? And cost of sorry, this is not cost of plowing, it's cost of fencing. Wait a minute, I made a mistake, let me erase it. It's cost of fencing, right? So cost of fencing is given as rupees 5,280, right? So, and every meter, rate for every meter is 24 rupees, isn't it? So for every meter you are spending 24 rupees, but your total rupees spent is 5,280. So we need to find how long it is. Like, let's say this long it was, okay, and for every meter you are actually spending 24 rupees. Let's say this little this thing you have been spending 24 rupees for this. So like that you'll be spending 24 for every region, right? So in total you are spending 5,280. So we need to see what is the length, how much is the length. Okay, so for that what do we do? Total length is circumference, that's what we are trying to find, is 5,280 divided by 24, right? See, this is the total cost for the fencing, and for every meter, per meter you are spending 24 rupees. So you divide it to find out what is the meter. Okay, So 5280 divided by 24. So that gives you 220. You can divide and check it. Okay, you can simplify it and check it. I hope you people know how to simplify it, right? So now this 2 pi r is equals to 220. That's the circumference we have got. Okay, so now here 2 into 22 by 7. So now here in this particular problem, see, they have told you specifically that pi you should take it as 22 by 7 only. So we will take it as 22 by 7. Okay, so 2 into 22 by 7 into r we don't know, so we keep the r as it is, and that is equals to 220. Okay, so now I'll solve for the r. So I keep the r alone over here, the rest all I move it to the other side. 220 I keep it here as it is. 7 is in the denominator here, so when it goes this side it becomes multiplied, right? It goes to the numerator, and 2 and 22 both are multiplied with the r, so when it goes to the other side of the is equals to sign, it becomes division, right? Now I can solve this. See, 22 tens are, right, and 2 5s are. So I get 5 into 7 is 35 meter. Okay, so this is my radius. So now once I get an area, I mean radius of the circle, now I know, I mean, you know, area radius of the field. I am supposed to find the area of the field. That was my main aim, right? So area of the field is pi r square. So I'm going to use pi is 22 by 7. R we just calculated as to 35. So 35 into 35. Now again 7 5s are 35. Okay, so now you multiply 22 into 5 into 35. 22 into 5 gives you 5 2s are 10, 5 2s are 10, 11, right? 110 into 35. So multiply 110 into 35. You multiply and check it. You are going to get 3850 meters square. So this is the total area of the field. Okay, this is the total area of the field. Okay, so for each meter square you are actually spending 0.50 rupees, right? So how much will be the cost of plowing the whole field? So 3850 into 0.50. So you multiply it and you will get this. Okay, 1925 rupees. All right, so now see, many of you, I hope you all have understood what kind of calculation I have done over here. Here I have multiplied and here I have divided, right? In this circumference case I have divided 5280 divided by 24. So I hope you understand how to do this. So for those who have forgotten this, I'm just giving you one small explanation over here. See, here when they are asking you the total length, circumference is what you are trying to find, and they are saying fencing cost. See, cost of fencing is 5280 rupees, right? 5280, and for per meter it is 24 rupees, right? So here they are talking about the cost and the length, right? So let me just draw a small table. You would have learned this in 7th grade. 7th 8th grade and all, but still, you know, I'm just explaining it once. So length and cost. So make a table like this. Okay, for 1 meter, see, when I say per meter it means 1 meter, right? For 1 meter what is the cost? 24 rupees. So write it down like this. And for, so we need to find out what is the total length, and the rupees over here used is 5280. So write it below the cost. Okay, and you need to find out what is the amount length over here, correct? So you put a question mark. Now you cross multiply. Okay, I can actually put a x over here. So when I cross multiply, what do? I will do 24 and x will get multiplied. Okay, it's going to get crossly multiplied like this. Okay, is equals to, you put a equals to sign, 1 and 5280 will get multiplied. Okay, now you need to find the x. So x is actually 1 into 5280 is 5280 divided by 24. So the total length we can use, you will have to divide it. Understood? Now similarly come down to the area thing over here. Here they have given total area, we know, right? And we know the rate for per meter square. We need to find out the cost of the whole field. So again we can, you know, make a table over here. It's talking about the area and cost, right? So for per meter square, that is for 1 meter square area, what is the cost? 0.50 rupees. Okay, so I can write the rupees over here. Okay, and for I need to find out what is the cost for 3850 meter square. So that's the area again. So 3850, I will write it below the area. I need to find the cost. So here this is the question mark, or I can put an x over here. So now let me cross multiply again. So now I will multiply the 1 and the x, right? The x gets multiplied with 1 now. So 1 into x is equals to 3850 into 0.50, or 1 into x is simply x. So x is equals to 3850 into 0.50. So that's how I am actually ending up multiplying these two values. Okay, so those who are not able to just directly do it, you can always form a make a table like this, and be sure of what you are doing first. Okay, don't make any mistake. Okay, so it's always better to draw a table like this and then solve it. Then you just have to multiply these two, so that's going to give you 1925 rupees. Okay, so based on these things, only these two formulas you are supposed to use over here. So solve problems from exercise 5.1. okay, question number 1 to question number 5 in classwork. Okay, write it neatly. All right, so see you in the next video. I will see you next week with the next video. Okay, Allah Hafiz. Thank you.